Hello and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Justyna. Welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. All right, so today we are going to look at the upcoming new moon, a new moon in Aries happening on the 17th of April at 27 degrees. All right, so here a new moon occurs when the sun and the moon are in the same sign at the same degree. This is the beginning of a brand new lunar cycle. Now, new moons are connected to new beginnings, fresh energy, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It is naturally, traditionally associated with new beginnings, fresh energy, and overall the energy of initiation. Aries is fire, so it pushes us forward. It gives us the encouragement and the drive to move forward with specific ideas, goals. We've got lots happening in the sign of Aries during this time. It's a massive, massive stellium that includes, of course, the sun and the moon and Chiron, but also Saturn, Mars, Mercury, and Neptune. So there is so much focus during this time on the area of life where Aries is present in your birth chart. Now, just a few more bits and bobs before I moved into the all signs. So I'm not going to say too much about this new moon from the general perspective, because I noticed that people skip to their sign usually. So here I'm just going to give you some little bit of guidance, some important information that you need to know. So first of all, if your birthday falls on the 17th of April, then this new moon falls on your birthday. So this is really significant because when our birthday falls on a new moon, this often indicates that we will be starting something new, a new chapter, a new phase in our lives in the upcoming year. Now, at the same time, here, if you have any planets or points at around 27 degrees of Aries, but also the remaining cardinal signs, and here, give or take 2 to 3 degrees, and that will be, of course, Aries, so you'll have a conjunction with the new moon, and Libras, this is an opposition. With Cancers and Capricorn, there is a square. So definitely pay attention to these late degrees because you'll be under a greater influence of this new moon. And at the same time, this new moon. So this new moon will especially trigger Cancers and Capricorns and Libras because it will form a challenging alignment with these signs, which is a square or an opposition with Libra. And I think it's most beneficial for Leos, Sagittarius, because it connects by a trine, and also to Geminis and Aquarians because you've got a lovely sextile connection, so harmonious energy. So these signs will likely feel this energy on a lighter scale, while especially Cancers, Capricorns, and Libras will feel it heavier. I'm a Cancer, Sun, Mercury, and Mars, and I can definitely feel heaviness in the air this month in April. Okay, so a little bit about that. Now I will move into the forecast for each sign. All right, so let's start from Aries. So Aries, welcome to your new moon in Aries horoscope. All right, so here this new moon, of course, will take place in your first house. And here the first house is the area of the self, of your physical appearance, of your style, of the lens through which you see the world. So this is the Aries energy, which is fast, impulsive, and courageous as well. So here, there's something new, something fresh taking place during this time, during the month of April overall, especially since also the ruler of this new moon is Mars. Mars is your chart ruler as well in the first house. So yes, there is a strong focus on your direction, on your path, on your life direction. So much energy happening in your first house. I don't know that many Aries rising individuals, but with Saturn and Neptune here this year as of February and January, you started a brand new phase in your life, a phase of greater maturity, greater responsibility. Saturn in the first house often brings a new career, a new life phase into our life overall. But here, this new moon is conjunct Chiron as well, very, very tightly. Now, the conjunction with Chiron was exact on the 16th, or will be, as you, I'll probably release this video around the 15th of April. So it would have been the night before this new moon. And we've got a series of conjunctions happening between the 20th and the 22nd of April between Mars, Mercury, and Saturn. So there is a lot of heaviness in the air. But here, since it's happening in your first house, Saturn can bring a greater responsibility, more seriousness in the air. But at the same time, since it's happening in the area of the self, this is about working towards something lasting. So something sustainable, something that will have a meaning as well. Neptune is here for over a decade now. So whatever that you do in your life, when it comes to your direction, the direction that you're heading, your path, it needs to connect with your inner sense of self. That's the energy of Neptune. Now here, this could be a time of some big decisions. This isn't a time to rush. And I know with Aries on the ascendant, sometimes we really want things to happen quickly and now, but this isn't the case here, especially since Saturn can delay certain matters. But it's all about you, your goals, your objectives, your ambitions, even your physical appearance as well, your attitude toward life. Now, at the same time with the new moon and Chiron conjunction, this energy could also make you more aware of any unhealed wounds connected to self-assertion, self-confidence as well. So there is an opportunity for healing with this new moon, especially since here this new moon increases that sense of self-awareness. And here with Chiron and Aries, which is almost coming to an end of this transit as well. Chiron is going to be ending this transit soon. So here, this is also a chance for paying a greater attention to any thoughts that come up or generally situations that may remind you of any of your weaknesses even. And this is also a chance for you to put a greater attention to address these wounds, to heal them and to overcome these obstacles. But here with Saturn and Mars, this is a tricky combination because Mars wants to push and Saturn wants to slow down. So here, this is a chance for you to really, really slow down and to evaluate whether the goal, the project, the idea that you're working on, is this something that it truly reflects your inner sense of self and whether it aligns with your goals. This is a chance for really, really building something sustainable and meaningful, something that can serve you for quite some time. All right, so we also have a supportive sextile to Pluto in your 11th house. And for some, this could manifest as some supportive help or some kind of support help coming through another person, through a supportive friend, someone influential in your network as well. Venus and Uranus will conjoin on the 24th of April in your second house. So there could be some also financial surprises coming up in the very near future. So it's an interesting energy here to work with. So thank you so much, Aries. And now let's move on and let's have a look at the next sign, and this is Taurus. So Taurus, for you, this energy will be happening in your 12th house. So the 12th house is the hidden area of life. This is the area of hidden enemies, institutions, our inner world. So with so many planets in your 12th house, this could feel like a very, very introspective time, a time when you really need to withdraw. So here with so much happening in your 12th house, so many energies, the moon, which is your emotions, your feelings, your foundations in your life, in the hidden area of life, the sun, your ego, your vitality, Chiron, the wounded healer, Saturn, Mercury, Neptune, and Mars. This is a time to be alone. This is a time to be alone or with people that you trust, with people that you know that they are on your side. Because during this time, you'll be absorbing a lot of external influence and energy, and this could really, really drain you quite substantially, especially if you feel like you're in a wrong place, especially if you're forcing yourself to do something that doesn't align with your inner sense of self. This is a time to really, really a good time to collect your thoughts, to withdraw, to go on a retreat, to stay at home, to read a good book, and to even work on some projects from behind the scene. Too much external energy and too much life in the public eye could really, really exhaust you very quickly. Now, if you have to, of course, life goes on. But if this is the case, then make sure that you definitely find time for rest and healing, because there will be a lot happening in your inner world, on the inside. It's a very internal new moon for you, not external. The next new moon, and even the full moon in Scorpio on the 1st of May, will be very, very different. So take this time to really spend time on your own and heal. Because of course, Chiron is activated by this new moon. So this could also bring back up to the surface any unhealed wounds connected to those deeper energies, things that maybe you even forgot about. Mercury in the 12th house makes you more of a daydreamer. It could be a really good time for reading. I know Taurus usually loves books and reading. And here the 12th house gives you a very vivid imagination. So this could be also a good time for, if not reading, then maybe engaging in something creative, something where you can release the excess of energy, but at the same time, really, really try to connect with nature, try to even gardening and going for a walk could be really, really beneficial. So 12th house energies, they require some peace and quiet, because there could be a lot going in your head. And Saturn in the 12th house, aligning with Mars, eventually with Mercury as well, it could potentially create some negativity in your thoughts. For this reason, you need to surround yourself during this time with something positive. No, but at the same time, what this new moons bring something new usually. It's a late degree as well, so there could be this feeling of urgency, running out of time. It's a great time for behind-the-scene work, for self-discovery, self-exploration, and healing, so that you can start Taurus season feeling much more rejuvenated and much more excited as well. All right, so thank you so much, Taurus. And now we will look at the next sign. We will look at Geminis. Geminis, welcome to your new moon in Aries Horoscope. So this new moon will activate your 11th house. So the 11th house deals with our friendships, group associations, anything to do with our long-term dreams and goals for the future. Now, the 11th house new moon is connected to something new happening, some new beginnings, ideas happening in the area of friendships, in the area of group teamwork even as well. So what could this mean? There's a lot of energy accumulated in this area of life, because we've got a new moon here, of course, Chiron, Saturn, Mars, Mercury, and Neptune. So lots happening in this particular area of life, and not much in the other areas at all. So clearly, your attention is really needed here. And this could be about some new projects, some new opportunities for you to work with others, to get involved with others, for example, as well. This could even mean some kind of, maybe someone will invite you to take part in some kind of event, or perhaps you could become a partner of a certain a certain event. I'm just talking about events because I literally just hosted a conference on Sunday, and we had a few people involved as media partners, for example. And I had the activation of the 11th house recently, so I hosted that, but I was involved in the group work. So generally, the 11th house brings that need, or not even need, but opportunities for group work, for group involvement, for some kind of participation in a certain group idea. So this could be very much the case for you, and it's a good time for doing so. Now, Saturn is here, of course. Saturn generally is like a wake-up call, a reality check as well. Saturn can slow things down because Saturn likes to take its time, but Saturn likes to build something in a stable manner. Stable and consistent. This isn't a time to rush, take shortcut. This is a time to build something on a solid ground, solid foundation. Build something in a constructive way as well, with a strategic plan in play as well. So this is a fantastic time for group work, teamwork, group projects, but they need to be well executed. Because anything rushed is not going to bring desired results. It's kind of like a waste of time, pretty much. It's a good time for also your goals, your dreams are here as well. This could bring a new friendship, new connection into someone's life, into your life. But at the same time, we also have a supportive sextile coming from the 9th house. This could be related to some new opportunities generally opening up for you. But at the same time, this new moon could also make you realize something perhaps that you are unaware about, certain people, connections in your life. Saturn in the 11th house helps to build connections that are real and authentic, but this also indicates that you might have to let go of some connections, those that are draining or misaligned. So that's on a side note. With Neptune here, of course, you seek those soul-like connections in your life, but at the same time, Chiron here could also, since it's so closely aligned with the new moon, it could also bring up to the surface any unhealed wounds associated with your sense of belonging. So this could come up, and this new moon brings that sense of self-awareness and a chance for healing. Thank you very much, Geminis. And of course, you've got Uranus coming to your first house very soon. So really exciting 7 years. All right, so Cancers now. Cancers, welcome to your new moon in Aries Horoscope. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this new moon is especially tricky for Cancers, Capricorns, and Libra. So because it connects by a square to your ascendant or any other planets you may have in your first house of the self. So what's happening here? This is a great new moon overall in April, Aries season for working on some long-term goals and plans. Saturn gives you a lot of discipline, energy to overall work on something in a constructive, disciplined way. So an amazing time for dedicating your time and energy through this, to work on a certain project, idea, or a business, career milestone. It's a slow it's a kind of like a slow moving energy and process, but Saturn gives you that drive. Mars gives you the drive, but Saturn gives you this energy connected to endurance and discipline, and to build something that has a structure, that has an order. So an amazing time for working towards a specific goal idea connected to your achievements, to your goals, to your ambitions overall. It's not the most fun time. It's rather a time to really, if you're looking to achieve something significant and long-term in your career, but if you feel like it requires work, then this is your moment without a doubt. Now, Saturn here, the new moon also with Chiron combination could also bring to light through realizations, maybe through listening to a podcast or through some conversations, some unhealed wounds associated with your visibility overall, with success, with what you're capable of as well. So if you experience, if you struggle with these sort of dynamics and themes, then this new moon energy overall can really help you to overcome them, or to at least address them. Now, at the same time, for some, this could manifest as a new business, a new development, self-development course, for example, workshop project, and maybe some changes or shifts taking place at your organizations overall, because Saturn is here with Mars conjoined, and Mars rules your 10th house. Things are not moving at a very fast pace at this point. Things are moving slowly. There could be delays as well. So you need to equip yourself with some patience, because if you can get through these energies, then you can achieve something really, really significant. So if you feel or think it's worth it, then definitely go for it, because this new moon also connects to Pluto by a sextile, Pluto in Aquarius in your 8th house. So there is a lot of empowering energy, and it could potentially bring some financial returns here. All right, so thank you so much, Cancers. And now let's have a look at the next sign, and that's Leo. Leos, welcome to your new moon in Aries horoscope. So here, as I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this video, this new moon will be pretty beneficial for Leos, because Aries and Leo are both fire signs, and they connect by a beautiful trine. So the energy of this new moon, although very heavy and serious, connects harmoniously with your Leo energy or energies, which is fantastic. So this new moon activates your 9th house. The 9th house deals with foreign places and people and legal matters. Anything to do with your beliefs, and anything to do with your life philosophy, higher education. So a great time for investing in self-development and growth, because Saturn gives you a lot of discipline to move forward, to get through, even though Mars, the ruler of your 9th house, is aligned with Saturn at this point, which could bring delays potentially, and maybe a little bit of heavy energy as well. But at the same time, Saturn here gives you a lot of discipline. Mercury is here, the planet naturally associated or traditionally associated with learning and communication. So a really great time for studying, for engaging in some workshops, or for example, anything to do with self-development, self-growth. This could also indicate, this new moon, that you might be starting or preparing for a brand new career as well. And the reason for that is because the 9th house energies often prepare us for what's there about to come in the 10th house. So here, this could indicate that you might be studying, preparing yourself to launch a new goal idea business, start a new career. Now, if you are starting a career in coaching or mentoring, teaching, these sort of dynamics, then here the energies are in your favor. But things are moving gradually. You really need things you need a constructive, you need a strategic plan. Here, this is about building something with structure. Now, this new moon could also indicate that you might be redefining your belief system, your life philosophy, your worldviews might be shifting and changing as well. So this will also depend on your circumstances. All right, so since the 9th house also deals with travel, so yes, this could very much indicate traveling or visiting foreign places. That's definitely here in alignment with the 9th house energies. But the 9th house also indicates growth and engaging in projects, ideas, activities, connections that can help you grow, that can help you to broaden your horizons, to widen your perspectives as well. Of course, this is a very important year for you, because we've got the eclipses in your first house in the 7th. Jupiter is moving into your first house in July, the 30th of June to be more exact. So some really exciting opportunities are coming up for you, especially July and August, with the nodes shifting into your sign, the South Node, and also Jupiter will be here, and then you've got an eclipse. So lots to look forward to. So at this point, you might be looking at your life from a slightly larger perspective, and this is a great time for doing so. Also a good time for learning astrology, for going on some kind of spiritual journeys or educational journeys, something that can broaden your horizons and your wisdom overall. Thank you so much. And let's have a look at Virgos. Virgos, welcome. Welcome to your new moon in Aries Horoscope. All right, so here we've got the 8th house. The 8th house activated lots of energies in the 8th house. The 8th house deals with very deep energies associated with anything to do with life after death, trauma here, especially Chiron in the 8th house, and with Chiron and this new moon connected by a conjunction. So this energy could bring up some unhealed wounds and connected to betrayals or moments, situations when your trust was taken for granted. So this is a chance for addressing these emotions, energies, and understanding them from a very different light perspective. And here, healing. That's definitely an opportunity for healing. The Sun and Chiron will conjoin in 26 degrees of Aries the day before this new moon. Now, it's the same time we also have Saturn, Mars, Mercury, and Neptune all in Aries in your 8th house. So lots happening. And this could indicate lots of different things, of course, because the 8th house deals with other people's resources, possessions. So very often with the 8th house transits, there is some kind of involvement of other people in our lives, especially when it comes to our work or finances, for example. Saturn is here now. Saturn in the 8th house often indicates that external support isn't easily accessible, and we often have to rely on ourselves. So here, what this new moon could indicate is that it could make you more aware of your finances, of your resources as well. But at the same time, this new moon could potentially also indicate a new partnership, business partnership, a new connection, a union partnership as well. To a certain extent, because of course, love and relationships, this is more 7th and the 5th house energy. The 8th house deals more with sexual energy, passionate energy as well. But very often with the 8th house transits, we have a need to connect with another on a really deeper level. So this stellium of planets in your 8th house could potentially indicate a sense of transformation happening in your life on the inside. The 8th house is traditionally associated with the energy of Scorpio, so there's a lot of profound and deep energy here. And this also indicates that there could be a lot happening on the inside. Now, the 8th house is also connected to fears and our insecurities. Now, with Chiron's activation here, these insecurities could come to light, as I mentioned earlier, but this isn't necessarily a time to hide away and push them aside. Aries is a very courageous energy, and it really can help you to overcome any obstacles or any negativities coming up in your life. This energy, this new moon could also make you think more about your old age, retirement, and your financial security and stability. Now, at the same time here, the 8th house is also connected to the things that are owned to us. So with Mars being the ruler of Aries, aligned with Saturn, this could also indicate some potential delays, financial delays, for example. The 8th house is also connected to control and that understanding that there are some things that we just can't control. Now, the sextile to Pluto in Aquarius in your 6th house could indicate a potential transformation that might be occurring around this time. And this transformation may occur through some changes and shifts in your daily reality, in your lifestyle, for example. All right, so thank you so much, Virgos. And now we will look at Libras. Libras, welcome. Welcome to your new moon in Aries Horoscope. So this is, as I mentioned earlier, Libras might find this new moon a little bit tricky because of the opposition happening to your 1st house around this time. So what does it mean? First of all, oppositions, they are often connected to other people. And here, this is your 1st and the 7th house dynamic. So the 1st house stellium is opposing your 1st house energies. Of course, there's nothing in Libra at this point, but you might have some natal placements in Libra taking place. New moons are connected to new beginnings, fresh energies. Aries is the 1st sign of the zodiac, so there's a lot of dynamic energy that motivates you to move forward, especially since Mars, the ruler of the 7th house, is in your the ruler of Aries is in your 7th house. And here there is this strong focus on dealing with a certain situation, matter connected to your one-to-one connections, dynamics, contracts you have with other people. But at the same time, what's happening here? Saturn is aligned with Mars. And this indicates that there could be some delays and frustrations at this time that you might have to overcome and deal with. Saturn often brings those testing moments. It tests our relationships, not to destroy them, but to make them stronger in the long term. So Saturn brings up to the surface things that we have avoided or perhaps ignored. And with Saturn in the 7th house, and now with in connection to this new moon and Mercury and Neptune, Chiron. So this kind of energy here is also bringing those lessons and so watch out for any conflicts, because here it doesn't mean that there will be a big argument or conflict happening in these one-to-ones in your love life, but it appears that there is a situation, there is a matter that needs to be addressed. And it can be addressed in a harmonious way. And here we also have a sextile Pluto in Aquarius. So there is so much focus upon your 7th house that if you feel like you've been neglecting your own needs, if you feel like you have fallen into people-pleasing tendencies, patterns, then this new moon could bring it up to the surface, could make you more aware of these tendencies, especially if you feel like you always choose others or other people's needs above your ours. So this new moon could really bring that strong need for establishing clearer and healthier boundaries in your relationship or in specific relationships. But at the same time, don't sign any contracts around this time if you can. Neptune and Mercury are conjoined, so this could create confusion, illusion, or lack of clarity. And at the same time, this phase could eventually potentially result in a new chapter starting in your relationship, or perhaps this could be also connected to your work, to your career, even because the moon rules your 10th house. And of course, Jupiter is still here until the end of June as well. So here, as you can see, it's all about these one-to-ones, but there's a lot of seriousness. So it could indicate some decisions you might be making in these one-to-ones. Sometimes it indicates a new client or a partnership you will be starting with another organization or some kind of side job situation. Whatever it is, you need to be grounded in your decision. And there's also the need to maintain these strict and healthy boundaries. Yes, there could be some lessons or testing times, but only to test these relationships, but only to see if this relationship is for you, if it aligns with your direction. Saturn doesn't like anything that's superficial. All right, so thank you so much, Libras. Now let's have a look at Scorpios. Scorpios, welcome, fellow Scorpios. How are you finding it this month? It's there's a lot of seriousness in the air, without a doubt, and it's a very productive month. I found it to be very productive, without a doubt. A time where you can really, really achieve a lot, where you can build something, when you can learn new skills. But here it will require work. It's not a light energy. And Mars wants to speed things up. Yes, it's Aries, so yes, the sign of initiation, new beginnings, new ideas. But at the same time here, the ruler of this new moon is Mars, and Mars is connecting to Saturn. So Saturn is kind of taking a very different pace. Mars wants to speed things up, and there is frustration. There is frustration, or there could be frustration, because Saturn wants things to be done well, with a solid foundation, in a structured way, in order. So here, whatever that you do, it will require discipline here, especially if you're working on some new business idea or a project, even if it's a diet, some new exercise regime, or a new diet, for example, or a new health routine. Whatever it is, it will require some discipline, dedication, patience if you want it to last. Anything that's done quickly with shortcuts is unlikely to work out in your favor, or it's a complete waste of time, pretty much. This energy requires discipline. So in a way, it's a fantastic time for you to think about what is it that you want to change in your daily life. What needs improvement? What needs adjustment for you to feel more fulfilled, more productive in your daily life? Maybe this is also connected to your daily reality, your cupboards, your wardrobe. If you like things are not organized, if you struggle with maintaining continuity, and if you struggle with consistency as well, then here this new moon can help you, or gives you this amazing opportunity to sit down, think things through, see how you can improve yourself, or perhaps find the right ways or new ways that work for you. Because not everything will work for every single person. Not every single idea will be appropriate for every single personality. We are all different. We work differently. And for this reason, it's so good to understand oneself on a deeper level, so that you know what works for you and what doesn't. But this new moon is about self-improvement. And here you've got a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. So yes, whatever changes that you implement around this time, they can bring more stability into your foundations as well, emotional or physical, overall. And of course, Scorpio is traditionally ruled by Mars. Mars connects to Saturn during this time. So yes, don't rush. Equip yourself with patience, because otherwise you will be frustrated, because the energies are quite on a slower note. All right, thank you so much, Scorpios. And now Sagittarius. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your new moon in Aries Horoscope. All right, so this new moon activates your 5th house. We've got a stellium of planets in this house during this time, along with the new moon, Chiron, Saturn, Mars, Neptune, and Mercury. Lots of energy, and Saturn is a tricky one here. I've literally just experienced it. It's now in my 6th house, but Saturn, especially in the initial phase, because here the transits of these, especially strong during the beginning of the transit, the cycle, and towards the end. So you can feel it very strong at this point. Saturn strings anything that it touches, so it could make you feel like there isn't enough fun, joy, and entertainment in your life. Maybe you're dealing with some career milestones, reaching some important career milestones. Maybe there is your family that needs your family responsibilities, whatever it is here. Saturn generally shrinks our opportunities for fun and entertainment. But on the other hand, here with so many energies in this area of your life, this can also maybe it's less of fun during this time, but at the same time, you can choose more quality. So you appreciate it more when it happens and you make it more quality time as well. So this could see you reevaluating your life in terms of whether there is enough fun and joy, entertainment, happiness. This is a great time for working on some hobbies, interests, projects, especially since Saturn brings a lot of determination. And we've got Mars here as well, which is a very dynamic planet. You've got Aries here, of course. So yes, you've got a lot of energy and you enjoy doing things and engaging in activities, various activities. But at the same time, the ruler of this new moon is Mars, and it aligns with Saturn via tight conjunction, which will be exact straight after this new moon. All right, so what does it mean? It means that the energies are slightly restricted and it's like moving on a wrong gear at times as well. So you need to equip yourself with patience, but at the same time, Saturn brings a lot of discipline. The need for structure is a good time for restructuring this area of your life in terms of your hobbies, your interests, your passions. Now, this could also see you restructuring your parenting style as well, or perhaps if you're involved in some work with children, young people, this would be a good time for implementing these important changes. So it's all about structure. It's all about discipline. And it's not a good time to rush with anything, because anything that's done quickly and without any kind of idea or plan, it's not going to work out. It's a complete waste of time. This is a time, kind of new moon, to dedicate some effort, energy, especially here when it comes to these creative projects, personal projects, ideas, for example, as well. But at the same time, any relationships that start around this time, they will also take a slightly slower step to grow, to develop. And there's a more seriousness in the air without a doubt. So you take your relationship more seriously. You take dating more seriously. Nothing of a superficial nature will likely appeal. Now, at the same time, Mercury and Neptune align beautifully. So this also makes me think that you might be, it's a good time for creative projects, and this energy brings inspiration. It brings imaginative ideas. And at the same time, we've got a lovely sextile to Pluto. So here, this could indicate some empowering news, decisions, thoughts, ideas as well. Now, the new moon and Chiron conjunction in the sign of Aries here, this could also indicate that some unhealed wounds, emotions, feelings associated with self-expression or any blockages, creative blockages that were never fully healed may come up to the surface, needing to be addressed. And this is your chance for healing as well, for experiencing that sense of self-empowerment in a way, especially with that sextile to Pluto. So thank you very much, Sagittarius. And now let's have a look at Capricorns. Capricorns, welcome to your new moon in Aries horoscope. This new moon will take place in your 4th house. So the 4th house deals with our foundations, emotional, physical, our home, our roots, where we come from, our family dynamics as well. So there is so much happening here. This could indicate some big shifts in the family circle, in the home dynamics, some big renovations, and especially since Saturn is here. Saturn can bring delays, but It can also indicate that whatever things that perhaps were breaking down in the home sphere and we didn't really attend to them, we perhaps didn't make them our priority, maybe some appliances, they might suddenly or eventually break down and it will require our immediate attention. So for some, this could indicate some potential frustration and that this could bring, and home improvements, fixing things at home. Aries energy often also indicate here, especially with so many planets in Mars, which is, this could see you gardening and decluttering, renovating, plastering your walls, for instance, as well, or perhaps doing some roof work on your roof. That's also associated with Aries energy here in traditional astrology. Now, this could see you overall investing a lot of energy into home-related matters. Your home needs you at this time. This isn't the best time for seeking too much on the outside because you need to establish stability in your foundations. Otherwise, it might be difficult to progress with certain outside public career-related projects. Don't worry, something in your career might shift very, very soon after, because we've got Venus and Uranus conjunction on the 24th of April, and of course, after Uranus shifts into your 6th house into Gemini for 7 years. So career matters and your daily life, outside world will be more prominent in the later months. At this point, your energies are needed at your home. So a great time for renovating, for decluttering, for looking for a new home, moving in, moving out, for resolving family matters as well. And this isn't the kind of energy that you should rush. This isn't about rushing because Aries likes to rush. Aries can be impatient. But here, this is a kind of energy that needs structure, and it's a very strategic energy as well. Now, your chart ruler, Saturn, is in the 4th house. So as you can see, it's not just the new moon that's influencing those foundations in your life, those home family foundations, but also your ruler is here. So wherever the chart ruler is present, this is the area of focus. And that's the area of focus for the next 2 years for you. And at the same time, Mars is also closely aligned with Saturn. Mars is pushing forward, Saturn is bringing that resistance and the need to take it easy, implement a step-by-step approach, which can indicate a bit of frustration, especially for those who are in a rush. This isn't the time to rush. Try to avoid signing any important contracts, because Neptune is conjoined with Mercury, so this could potentially bring confusion and illusion as well. So not the best time for signing any very detailed contract. If you can, try to delay them for at least a couple of days. Mercury is a fast-moving planet. It moves very fast in the sign of Aries. It's moving at a fast pace at this point as well, because it's regaining its strength after the Mercury retrograde phase. Mercury in Pisces in March, retrograde, was moving slowly, but now that it's out of the retrograde phase, it is moving fast. Now with the new moon and Chiron conjunction, this could also bring up some unhealed wounds, emotions, situations from the past that need to be addressed and healed, especially those connected to your need for emotional security, stability. This is a chance for you to address them. Don't neglect them. Saturn here acts. Saturn is a cold planet, but also Saturn makes things look very realistic as they are. So this is a time to attend to your home matters, family dynamics as well. Right, so now let's have a look at Aquarius. Aquarius, this is your 3rd house, so that's your area of movement, communication, and overall here we've got decisions. This could be a time of some decisions, ideas that you might be implementing. It's a very active month. New moon and month probably as well, because Aries in the third house, yes. But with Aries on the third house, you like things when things you might be a very active communicator, and here you've got Saturn slowing things down and maybe even making you self-doubt or doubt your own intellect. And here, Saturn overall and Mars combination. This is a time to take it easy, equip yourself with some patience, but this could be a time of some major decisions, something to do with decisions, ideas. Generally, whatever it is, it requires structure, it requires discipline. This could see you embarking on a new journey, a new business. Remember, you're starting this year, this brand new cycle on Aries and Leo axis. We had one eclipse already in Aquarius in your first house, and we will have another one next year. And then in July, the North Node is coming to your first house, the South Node to your seventh house. So yes, you are reinventing yourself without a doubt. And you are realigning yourself with your purpose as well. Now, at the same time here, the third house is connected to also traditionally associated with Mercury and energy. Mercury is here feeling very, very comfortable. So it's a good transit for writers, those who are working on some intellectual projects which require precision, which require dedication. Whatever that you build around this time, whatever decisions you make, whatever you set in motion, this will require patience, this will require effort. Anything that is built quickly without, in an impulsive, rushed manner, it's a complete waste of time because it's not going to bring desired outcomes or results. This could see you traveling as well. Movements, travel. Watch out when speeding, when driving. Well, speeding, when driving, you might be driving faster than you realize. Watch out when working with sharp objects. Actually, Mars was squaring it is applying to square my sun. It is in an applying aspect, and I cut myself the other day. So yes, we need to watch out when Mars especially connects with our natal placements, because we have a greater tendency to rush with things and perhaps not pay attention quickly enough, consistently enough, and it can result in some cuts, injuries, for example. But overall here, the third house, this is connected to our mind, to our intellect, our thinking processes as well. So very often here the third house new moons indicate some new beginnings, new ideas, decisions, business, website, for example, perhaps a new project with your siblings, next of kin. Whatever the scenario, it's a very, very inspirational new moon. You've got lots going on in your mind, and you might have a need to release it in one way or another. But at the same time, this new moon also connects with Chiron by a conjunction. And this could bring up to the surface some unhealed emotions or energies or wounds associated with communication. So it could bring up some communication blockages or make you more aware of where you feel blocked. And this is a chance to address them, to become more aware of them, to work with them, and here to overcome them eventually. Generally, new moons at a late degree, they indicate that feeling of urgency, running out of time. So you might also feel that around this time. But here, try not to rush too much with whatever that you deal with around this time, because this isn't the kind of energy that wants to be rushed here with Saturn and Mars conjunction, and Mars being the ruler of this new moon, and also Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius. We've got a sextile, beautiful sextile as well to Pluto, which brings a sense of empowerment, potentially satisfaction, and especially here when it comes to any decisions, ideas you might be making around this time as well. Your chart ruler is about to change signs as well. Uranus into Gemini. So there's a shift of energy definitely happening within you, and you can feel it. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much. And we will now move into Pisces. Pisces, welcome to your new moon in Aries Horoscope. So this new moon activates your second house. So this is a financial new moon for you. You've got Saturn and Neptune here as of the beginning of this year. So yes, there are shifts coming. For some, this could indicate a greater need to save and be more cautious with money. Perhaps you're saving up for a new home. Uranus is about to enter your fourth house. So many Pisces rising individuals will be relocating, changing homes in the next 7 years. So definitely keep an eye on your IC or what's happening with the ruler of your fourth house, because now I'm seeing that the ruler is Mercury, of course, of your fourth house, and it is conjunct Neptune. So there could be some confusion, especially about your sense of belonging, about your sense of home, and you might feel slightly disconnected. But at the same time, this new moon brings some new opportunities for in your financial sector overall. So something new, but remember, this is a late degree of a new moon. So yes, there is this feeling of urgency and like a now or never feeling. But this isn't a good time for rushing and just taking rushed decisions that are not fully evaluated. Because Saturn and Mars are conjoined. Mars is the ruler of your second house. So Mars wants to move forward and take action, get on with things, but Saturn says, no, stop. We need a plan. We need a good strategic plan. We need more structure. We need more order, and things are slowing down. Maybe some delays with payments, financial transactions as well, or some financial plans go. So you need to equip yourself with patience and don't give up if something doesn't work the first time around. There's a lot of opportunity here, but it needs to be done or executed strategically. And there are some financial opportunities coming your way, whether that's a different approach to money making, new financial goals, ideas that you may have for yourself, a new job perhaps. This could be the case as well. And perhaps for a new business. So whatever the scenario here, yes, there is a big opportunity for you, but it needs to be executed strategically. And at the same time, the ruler of your 10th house is in the sign where it is exalted, a very, very strong placement. So it is a fantastic placement for your Jupiter. So things could be happening without a doubt here until the end of June, especially since the ruler of your 10th house is now in your 5th house, the area of self-expression and the area where generally you need to find your inner spark, your inner voice, and that creative spark, a sense of self-empowerment. This can really help you to succeed during this cycle as well. But overall here, also pay attention because this new moon is conjoined Chiron in Aries. Chiron in Aries is connected to wounds associated with self-confidence, self-assertion. And in connection to the second house, it could bring up some wounds associated with your sense of security and stability in your life, especially if this was the case. If there was some kind of instability or loss experienced in the earlier stage of life, and if there are still some unhealed emotions that haven't been healed or addressed, they might come up to the surface around this time, giving you a chance to address them, to understand them from a different light perspective, and hopefully overcome them. All right, so thank you so much, Pisces, and all the best.